Disclaimer. This video and all its contents are Ngozi's opinion and that of some people who contributed. We're all entitled to our opinions, so enjoy.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the NG Show. My name is Ngozi and I have with me is Sister Lami. You know, I first heard you sing at a karaoke bar.
Oh dear.
In Atlanta.
Oh dear.
It would have been like 2004 or 5.
Vague
memories of that. Yeah, vague recollection. And I thought, ooh, there's soul from that time. You know what I'm saying? Because I say that. My name is Ngozi. This is Lami.
Hi. Hi, my name is Lami Phillips. I sing, I act, and other things. But yeah, primarily that's how I eat.
She's awesome.
Thank you.
She's ultimately my boy. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad. I love your dress, I was saying.
Thank you. R116, I should shout them out. They sent me the dress.
So they have like I'm just promoting
I think it's an inspirational brand. So what I like about it is that it's stuff you actually don't mind wearing. You know, sometimes someone sends you something and you're like,
am I going to do that?
I'll wear this with the laundry.
Yes.
Yeah, so but this is good stuff. So
Someone sent me T-shirt. That's how I heard about them.
Oh.
And it said, "You can sit with us."
Yeah,
Jesus. I thought that was pretty cool. Yes.
Yeah.
So big ups. Well done, guys.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me.
And I just thought Lami was apt to do this episode with, because today's episode is entitled Drugs and the Nigerian Youth. Now, I don't know whether it's youth. Because nowadays, like in my church, you say youth, Christian youth, they are 45.
It's young in mind. Yeah.
But this thing that is happening. I mean, I was watching the news the other day, they said they banned benylin with codeine. I said, excuse me, please. If I have a cough now, I need to look for another thing to drink. And I think they said it's because of the opioids in it, which make people addicted, whatever. But are we now going to the point where, I digress. The first question, why is this happening? What are your thoughts? Like, do we feel like it's been happening for a while? And I'm talking about the alternative. We know that we've heard some rich kids and people do drugs, like hard drugs in Nigeria. We don't see it normal. Like, it's not a street thing. You just don't randomly go on the street and see it, especially not in Lagos. But now, benylin with codeine. Kids come to the drugstore to buy benylin, and I'm telling you about one in VI, and I walked in, I was standing in the line, and maybe the kid would be like 17, and the guy refused to sell to him. As a lack of business minder that I am, I said, excuse me, please, this young man needs, why won't you give him the thing? He said, madam, please. When the boy left, he told me that's his third time coming that day. What's going on?
I think these things, my humble opinion is that these things have been happening before. I have much older friends, even in the entertainment industry, who tell me about stuff they used to do way back then. And I think quite a lot of us lived relatively sheltered lives. So we were not exposed to what was happening in the streets. We were not exposed to things that were happening in our external environments. And I think these things always happen, but now we have social media. And maybe what we're struggling with isn't the existence of the darkness of drugs, but the making it cool. Maybe that's where we struggle.
Yes.
I don't think it's a new thing. I think it's just like domestic violence or pedophilia and things like this. I think they were always
social media
there.
has
these,
now.
Yeah, the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. So I think these things have been happening. I think now it's just someone is adding like a smidgen of cool to it. So I think a lot of us are struggling with where do we place this in our minds?
Thing in our minds? So as opposed to before, it's like, ooh, drugs. Yeah. Suddenly it's like, me and my peoples, I'm going to go and buy benylin with codeine because it's okay. It's okay to get high. People are talking about it like, hey, why not? Because that brings me now to the second question. Do you think that music, especially our music today, has a role to play in this making it cool thing? And I say that openly because of I'm not a big I'm a very big music person, but I'm not very as current as I should be. There are very few, you know what I mean, so amazing. I don't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? It came up, I was like, yes. You know, you need to download that track, by the way. But moving on from that is, you know, some songs are promoting it. As much as I like, I want to go in there, I mean,
do you want my honest opinion?
Yes,
and
I
this
do.
isn't me trying
Feel
to
free
be.
to.
This isn't me trying to be politically correct.
Okay.
I grew up listening to all kinds of music. My parents exposed me to all kinds of music,
Yeah,
and
I know where you're going.
I was a very hardcore and still am rap fan, and I would listen to Tupac like I was living his life. I listened to DMX. You know, even now I was looking for some Eric B and Rakim tracks. I tried to go to the root of music, any kind of music. And you see, those people are speaking about their reality. And so it's okay to understand their reality. The mistake we make is when we think we need to make somebody else's reality our reality. You and I listen to...
Go back and say that again.
The mistake we make is when we think we need to make somebody else's reality our reality. Rihanna's being who she is. Snoop Dogg is being who he is. Wizkid is being who he is. And we put, it's the truth. Being an artist is very stressful. I'm not making excuses. I'm not trying to legalize or justify certain things, but it's really stressful. And if you don't have the support system or enough people to knock your head or just speak positivity into you and put you on the straight and narrow, you will break. It's a very, very tough thing to be in the public eye. And when you go fully into, you know me, I cheat. When it's getting too deep,
then you go do
I just lean back and go to my safe place. But you know, there are people who live this on a daily basis. They're moving from one stage to the other, and then sometimes it's even people from the inside that make it tougher. They're family members who are so demanding and angry or judgmental.
Just want to take.
And so it starts small. It starts with benylin and codeine, and then it moves to, you know, and for them, they don't even, the same way you may see taking a glass of wine is how they see these things. You know, the same
because
way,
my glass of wine relaxes
the same
me.
way somebody can give someone flowers is the same way the Porsche is to Davido.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so for
Relativity.
so for them, they don't see it as they're taking drugs and it's drug abuse. That's their reality.
Okay, no,
it's their reality.
Okay. That's because, let me say this. I know, it's tough, Indeed, let's say it's a reality because drug, you take one, you take another, it becomes abuse. It's the same way I can take a glass of red wine and another because alcohol abuse.
But you know the thing is, if they take their, whatever it is, stick of weed, you know, 2 drops of codeine, and I take it, they will be operating all right.
I will fall.
I'll be gone.
You know. But then in that, and it's
the same way you can take a shot of Hennessy and I can take 7 shots. We all have our thresholds. Again,
take 7 shots?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
So my point is, I wouldn't do drugs. I wouldn't advocate for my kids to do drugs. But my reality and the reality of my kids is different. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
The principles I'm raising them on is different. The principles I was raised on, different. So
yes.
I'm not going to, what's the word? I can't judge what I don't know is my point. I can't judge it. I don't know it. I haven't lived that reality. I can't judge it.
So let's not judge it.
Yeah.
Let's look at it from, because what I also want to try to pick up from something you didn't say, is that, so let's assume someone is rapping about being on a codeine diet. And then there's a lot of fans listening to that person stylize and make cool something that is pretty much dangerous. That's that person's realty.
Okay,
so
you're saying that the people who are saying, drop down and get your eagle on, girl. Snap that, something.
But you should drop
put
down,
it when
get
you
your
something
eagle
ready,
on,
something. Now shake it in it. It's the same thing. So there's sex and there's drugs. So we're listening to some of these things. So, you know, we're picking on this because I think we're not, as a culture, we're not so comfortable talking about these things. But right there you have Nicki Minaj and you have all these people. And if you go on any music channel, today on a Sunday in the afternoon, you have half-naked ladies. You go on social media, you have girls twerking and DMing it, and then the artist is putting... Yeah. So my point is, if we're going to open that kettle of fish, let's open it and scatter it.
And don't pick and
but
choose.
We can't pick... Yeah, because these artists are doing what it is. If nobody was buying it, they wouldn't be selling it. So they're doing what it is that Nigerians want. And the way you know it is that you compare the money that Bez is making to the money these people are making. If we wanted clean music, if we wanted clean artists, if we wanted clean role models, he would be richer. Yes. So, as Martin Luther King once said, you get the leadership you deserve. I think we get the musicians we deserve. I think we get the role models we deserve. And I think if we wanted to support certain things, there are enough of them. Have you listened to Omami's Timeless, for example? You know, she made clean music. She didn't talk about anything dirty. She made clean music. And it was an uphill battle compared to when she was talking about other things. So my point is, whether it's drugs, whether it's sex, whether it's half-naked, you know, whether it's half-naked people, I just think that there's a whole lot of things happening in our environment. Yes. That have been happening since social media has now made it a big deal, and we're all trying to
No, but they are big deals. It's just now we are seeing them clearer and more up close.
Yeah, so we're all now trying to decide, how do we feel about this thing? So I say, let's just confront it. It exists.
Aye.
You know, it exists. It exists.
Let's confront it.
Let's confront it. It exists.
And so let's confront it, because in number 3, what I was then going to ask you, which unfortunately for my damn self, you floored. Because I was going to say, do you think... Hey, Ngozi.
You feel like we need a part 2 for this conversation?
I feel like we do. Let me say that. Let me say, because do you feel, number 3, that you guys are role models? Let me explain.
I get. Yeah, I'm listening.
Right? So, some people are, you're thrust into it. You're doing what you love. You know, I look at Tiwa, I'm thinking the big people now, the Davidos, and they are doing what they love. And young people are looking up to, they didn't ask to be looked up to, right? But you are indirectly, invariably, a role model. So in that sense, should there be any kind of responsibility?
I don't think so. I don't think so, because some people are lucky. You know, you're prepared for that life. I feel I was prepared, and I feel even then I struggle. My team will tell you I struggle. There's some days I'm angry. There's some days I'm depressed. I feel like things aren't going the way they should. There's some days everything is coming back to back, and I can't balance everything, and I'm stressed. And I say to them, I understand why some people do it, though. I'm not going to do it,
I need to space
but
out
I
right now.
understand why they do it. So I think that some people are blessed to have the preparation. Like, you know, when you decide you're going to be a politician, your family starts to groom you. Yes. But some people they don't know what they're getting into. They just know, I like singing, I like rapping, I like acting. And then it happens, and then they become big. And sometimes they become big quicker than they thought they would. It's just thrust upon them.
Yes.
So they're growing and struggling in public harder than anything that we understand. So we struggle.
That thing is deeper than what you just said. They're growing and struggling in public. So they're making their mistakes in the public eye.
Yes, and it's easy for us to point and say, oh, Davido, you shouldn't have done this. Oh, Whiskey, but you have two baby mamas. Oh, Tiwa, why you went? Oh, I did. It's so easy, but we all as individuals struggle. Yeah, so we individually, yes, but we're doing it in private. So if anybody was to take each of our...
she's annoying me.
If anybody took my dirty laundry, your dirty laundry, and just put it out there, it would make a mess and a mockery of who we say that we are. So I don't think anybody is anybody's role model. I don't think anybody should be even for me, I tell people, especially people who start to worship pastors and this woman of God, this man of God, this person, like, no, you have to take a little bit out of everyone and say, I like what this person does, I like what that person does, and become the best version of yourself and do the best that you can. Because once you start to idolize anybody, then you fall into the trap of when that person falls, you fall as well.
You fall as well.
So whether anybody is singing, if I like Cody, if my assistant is here, the on repeat on Friday was Coding Diet. I like the song. It doesn't mean I'm going to go and buy codeine.
Yeah.
And if my daughter's listening to it, I'm going to tell her this codeine is a drug. You're not gonna need it.
And I like drop down and get you,
yes.
girl, but you know, I won't finna do,
exactly.
you know,
so you have songs that, I mean, we listened to Two Life Crew and all kinds of mess when we were kids, and that's messy. But we didn't think we needed to go and become that. So we just need to explain to people that somebody is making music. Number one, we're celebrating it. So we need to check ourselves as well. Why are we celebrating what it is that we're judging? So pick one side, don't be a hypocrite. Secondly, if this person is talking about something, that's their reality. If I'm singing about heartbreak, are you heartbroken? But you can like the song.
You can like the song, it's true.
Yeah, that's their reality.
Well, and so let me ask you this. So you don't,
I mess things up for you. I feel
effed me up. I had a long list of, I was coming, hey. Let's go. Thank you so much for watching. I don't get it. You know, yeah, it's not fair. You know what? You think you're slick, huh? Oh no, you think you're kind of slick now.
Part two, you flaw me. Don't worry.
I can see how. That's why she was like, Yeah, she was like, ooh, yeah, I don't even know.
In my mind, I was actually asking myself, Lami, what's your sincere opinion about this?
But this is it's deep, and it's in. I don't think a lot of people would say it like this. It's always easier to be on the side that I'm on. Is you're a role model, why you I think it was Britney Spears one time was like, I'm not a role model. I'm just growing.
Rihanna said it, Lil
Wayne
Wayne
said it. You don't have to do that. And it's difficult because what I wanted to ask again is, can they love the music and celebrate it and really be fans without somehow role modelizing you? Do you know what I mean?
I think music
because if you
art.
say don't role model me, it might affect sales.
Let me tell you something. Whether we like it or not, you're going to see a Wizkid or a David or whoever and want to be like that person, right?
Yeah.
And but they didn't ask for it. They're doing the best that they can. And so for us adults, we know what to think. But for the kids, you have to explain certain things to them. The same way you look at Michael Jackson now, and Michael Jackson had 1 million pounds, but Michael Jackson is still, you know.
He's Michael.
Beyonce is still
Beyonce.
Hey, we don't know if Beyonce in the coded place is sniffing something.
We do not know because she's awfully controlled. Bless her.
So I think the drugs is just another flaw. It's just another imperfection of some of these people. And some of these people, you know, someone like my mother would say, more drugs. You know, like but what I've also learned in this journey of being an artist in Nigeria is that some of these people, some of them are the wisest. If you just, that's why when Jesus came, he sat with prostitutes and he sat with tax collectors. He didn't judge them. He sat in the middle of all of them.
Yes.
And sometimes you sit with these people and they're smarter than all the shishi-poo-poo people that you have in the office environment.
Yeah, the non-drug smokers.
And sometimes they'll tell you that those people invite them for gigs, private gigs, and they're the ones who bring all these drugs. So who is who?
Who is who?
Who is who?
Oh. I don't know. Okay, so I will admit that this is the first time this is happening. Because you know how you kind of like know where you're going with something, and you kind of know how things are going to spin out. You know how now I had a summary prepared in my head. My summary don't work no more. So now I want to kind of wrap up the show, and I don't know what to summarize.
Do you want me to wrap it up?
Can you summarize it for me? Thank you so much.
So we've had a very healthy conversation.
Very healthy conversation.
About drugs, the role of drugs in our society.
The role of drugs in our society.
The role of musicians in promoting the perception about drugs in the society. And what else? I think, and the general gist of it is this. Artists don't ask to be role models. Some of them don't even know what they're getting into. They're struggling and growing in public, and I think a lot of us are really judgmental. And yes, I know sometimes we as entertainers mess up, but you mess up too. So the general gist of it is drugs are not good. I wouldn't make a song about it because it's not my reality, but that's the reality for some people. Should we legalize it? Not necessarily. But let's have honest conversations about these things. To young people, stay in school.
Stay in school.
The drugs can't
read something.
You know, don't go and feel among if you're in a private school, you are trying to enter where the gangsters are sipping stuffs, they've been sipping it from age 4.
You did, yeah.
Stay on your lane. Drugs are bad. Anything that you can get addicted to is bad. Even food. In the Bible, it says that gluten is a sin.
Absolutely.
So my thing is, whether it's drugs, whether it's sexual promiscuity or immorality, alcohol, whatever it is, as long as it's just not doing anything good for your body, you need to love yourself enough to just say no to it. While you're doing that, though, don't judge anybody who's struggling because you're not perfect. I think that's a good summary.
That's a good summary.
Yeah.
Dang, girl, she went to school. I'm telling you, she went. Thank you so much, Lami. I'm going to do 3 questions. So 3 random questions at you and Lami.
Sure.
First question: what is your biggest etiquette problem? Like with
There's
people?
so many.
Hey. Oh my gosh.
So I'm really irritable when it comes like dragging your feet, eating with food in your mouth.
No, talking with food in your mouth.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Talking with food in your, I said eating with food. Talking with food in your mouth. Chewing. You know, when I want to irritate my mom,
you chew.
I can't stand it. Yeah, so there are quite a few.
There are quite a few. So she's just so we're not. Okay, that's awesome. And so just then, if you met someone, you're meeting for this. She has changed that face. I've never asked. You know what? So you just made me.
You know, you were talking about silence before, and I'm like, but your face may, defy your silence. Your face may say what you're thinking, but carry on.
No, someone said this to me. I said, my face may say what you think I'm thinking.
Yeah.
What if that's not what I'm thinking? Why are you judging me?
That's what.
What you said most times. No.
Okay.
If you meet someone for the first time, I've just walked up to you. I'm like, hey, Lami. I'm not, and my breath is, look at his face has changed. What? How would you nicely tell me that you don't want to die?
You know, the worst one is my assistant is here. I don't have, you see, I believe that when you cross over 30, you need to just start being nice to yourself. I will bring out perfume from my bag. I will spray my hand. I do it. Spray my hand and just do like this because I don't need to suffer. I don't need to. You're the first time I'm meeting you, so I don't need to now say,
okay, that's true.
Yeah, but if you're someone that's going to be in my circle, I'll call you and say, come, take.
That babe,
where's the struggle?
That brushing your tongue sometimes, that she said, where's the struggle? Because it's not meeting. It's not meeting.
And maybe you don't know. That one, it can be anything that is causing it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, oh my God. You've completely thrown me, as Chiga would say, overboard. You have thrown me overboard. I don't have anything else for you. Do you have a question for me? I can't believe I just did that. Nope, don't ask me any questions. People don't ask me questions. Marshall. It's Marshall. I do want you to sing something though.
Oh dear.
Half a line of anything at all. Anything that comes to mind. Can even be Jesus loves me.
You have to pick something. My brain, I will not have like a jukebox scenario in my head.
Loves me. His eyes on the sparrow, anything. Okay. Man in the mirror, his eyes on the sparrow. Nice.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
2, 3, go.
Why should I be discouraged? Why should the shadows?
Hey!
Oh, why should my heart be aching?
What?
Yeah. You said one line. I gave you 3.
I'm gonna get her to sing it off camera, and I can just maybe put a sound bite for you guys. You have I'm glad you say soul singer.
Thank you.
Your voice is like an instrument.
Thank you.
It's not like a soprano. It's like an instrument. It's like
my vocal coach would say you have texture.
Yeah, texture. I said that's what I was gonna say. It's like a wind instrument that has a hole in it, and something is disturbing the fluidity of it. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Lami, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Follow her on Instagram on this handle. If you have any comments, make them in the box under the screen. If you have any questions for me, send an email to the email address on the screen. Follow me on Instagram. Subscribe to the channel. Until next time, judge not. Keep it real. You have to say keep it real.
Keep it real. Keep it real.
Bye, guys. Thank you.